Hey guys, so as I mentioned, there has been a new law passed in Australia in regards to refugees and asylum seekers, and basically, in short, we're not accepting anymore. And what's happening is any boat that is intercepted in Australian waters will be checked for anyone on the boat if they've got a visa or not. Side note, if you're on a fucking filthy boat in substandard conditions, pretty sure you don't have a visa. Otherwise, why the fuck would you be on a filthy boat in substandard conditions? It's not like it's like the cheapest option, because it's not. They spend a shitload of money for the privilege just to try to get here. So, you know, it's not like a money thing before you say it's a money thing. It's not a money thing. So, yes. Anyway, what is going to happen is anyone who has got a visa, obviously, you know, go on your way, welcome to Australia. Anyone without a visa will be redirected to Papua New Guinea and then processed there. If they're found to be a legitimate refugee, asylum seeker, then they'll be allowed to stay in Papua New Guinea, seek asylum in Papua New Guinea, but they will not be granted access back to Australia. And I just think, well, I don't know a great deal about Papua New Guinea, but pretty sure that it is smaller than Australia. And given that Australia was basically founded on immigration, it's just ridiculous to see that this is what's going on now. Because Australia is like a best of collection. It's like we've had the privilege of having contact with and influence from so many different countries and cultures that we have literally developed over the years into a best of collection of the best bits from each of the places that have had contact with us, which is a lot of places. And that is one of the things that makes this country what it is. Whether we're talking about, you know, our architecture, and, you know, where we've pulled inspiration from that for, to, you know, food, to just our people in general. You know, like, we can't really even say that there's a minority class anymore, like, in terms of race. There's not really any minority group anymore. It's like a pretty well-developed, even mix of each nationality has been formed here over the years, where you have sort of certain suburbs being more predominant for certain nationalities, of course, but then when you come closer in towards the city, it really is just an even mix of everybody, and I really like it because it is exactly that. So I don't understand really how it works in terms that, like, Papua New Guinea is not our country. So I don't understand how we can just be like, we can't be fucked, we don't know how to deal with this, so here you go, we're just going to overcrowd your country now with our problems. What happens when Papua New Guinea's full? What, are we just going to turn the whole of Papua New Guinea into like a refugee camp / fucking concentration camp? Like, I don't understand how we even have the right to do that. I mean, I know that we're all like in the Commonwealth or whatever, but like, you know, it's not even like our Commonwealth. Like, it's England's Commonwealth. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm getting into areas that I'm not well versed in. And I will put a link with actual credible factual information in the description so that you can educate yourselves on this topic. But basically, regardless of like the whole, like, you know, the fine details of it all, just the overall band-aid solution that the government has come up with in terms of immigration and refugees is just wrong, in my opinion. And I dread to think what kind of repercussions it will have for Australia in the future as a result. But the main thing that inspired this video, even more so than just disagreeing with this new law that's been passed, is actually, if you recall my video begging on Facebook, where I made reference to a couple, one of the couple who I was mostly speaking about deleted me from Facebook. Fair enough. Honestly, I never intended for either of them to see the video, and it was a firm lesson in karma for me, and obviously just in life itself, that you don't say something about somebody that you would not be prepared to say to their face, and that is obviously something that everybody has heard and knows, but it was forgotten in that instance by me, and I suffer the shameful consequences as a result, and rightly so I should. But one of the couple didn't delete me, and I don't know why, but they didn't. Anyway, I was already sort of miffed over this law that had been passed, and, you know, every man and his dog had a status update about it. And it was pissing me off because I was seeing people who weren't even born here doing statuses basically saying how great this law is, and, you know, fuck them, send them home kind of thing. And it's like, it just pissed me off, because it's like, you need to just take a second to consider where you would be right now if your family was refused entry to Australia, you know, however long ago your family line, you know, started developing here. You know, if you weren't born here, or if you weren't granted access here when your family moved here, where would your life be now if you had grown up in Papua New Guinea and not Australia? Like, is that how it works now? We just turn around and spit on whoever's in line behind us, like we've made it through, so, you know, fuck you. Like, how quick we are to forget, you know, what could have been, you know, what could have come of you if you hadn't been so fortunate. You know, people are very quick to take things for granted and forget. And it just pissed me off. So when I saw his post on the issue, I basically said exactly that. I was agreeing with somebody who had posted on his status, and I didn't say anything to him directly. I was just agreeing with somebody else's statement who was basically following along the same sort of lines of my thinking with things. And then he jumped in and was like, how dare you even say anything to me at all? And, you know, I don't understand why you think it's okay to say anything at all, and especially after you didn't even have the decency to fucking reply to any of my messages. It's like, are you fucking serious? You're gonna call me out in a fucking group discussion on Facebook? I wasn't even fucking talking to you. He misinterpreted everything that I said and, like, turned it all around to make it look like I was a bigot. And I'm just like, I don't understand. If you don't want to fucking talk to me and you're pissed off about the whole fucking issue of how you're a scumbag, that's fine. Fucking, why didn't you fucking delete me like your partner did? Like, leaving me on your friends list gives me the impression that it's like water under the bridge, you're over it. Because if you weren't, then you would think, like, if you fucking hate me, you would delete me. Like, what is the point in keeping me around if you don't fucking want to talk to me ever again? So it was just like, just a fucking drama queen, seriously. Anyway, so I will put some information about this law in the description for you to read and educate yourselves with. And yes, thanks for listening to my ramble. And I will speak to you soon. See you guys.